Hello everybody, I'm back. I do have my glasses on.
Ain't it a fine life, carrying the banner through it all?
Hello everybody, I'm back. Welcome back to Carrying the Banner. Sorry I wasn't able to film last week. I was in New York for 24 hours and I came home exhausted. I filmed a video and then the footage wouldn't work on my computer. But whenever I'm not here, you can always go to the Broadway World or search around the web and find your news. But, you know, still watch my videos. Anyway, doesn't matter, I'm back and I'm here for Carrying the Banner, bringing you, of course, all the latest Broadway news right to your computer. Let's get started. Big news today, Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS has set the date for their annual flea market. The 28th annual Broadway Flea Market will take place on September 21st. You can meet Broadway stars, you can bid on collectible items, you can even buy a bunch of Broadway collectibles. They have tons of tables, you can buy playbills, posters, props, anything from any Broadway show you can think of. It's a giant flea market for Broadway fans. It is free to the public, and you can find the Broadway Flea Market on 44th and Broadway. And if you want to know exactly where that is, it's Schubert Alley. It is right in between the restaurant Junior's and Matilda at the Schubert Theater. It is very close. You'll be able to find it. Just see the giant girl swinging on the swing set and you'll find it. That's Matilda. In new musical news, Black Orpheus will be coming to Broadway. This musical is an adaptation and it's directed by George C. Wolfe. And there's a story by Lynn Nottage. Very exciting production team. Black Orpheus was originally based on the play. I'm probably going to get this wrong, but Orfeu de Consejo and by the great Moraes. And Black Orpheus basically, it changes that classic Greek love story between Eurydice and Orpheus against the backdrop of Rio de Janeiro this time during Carnival. So it's kind of a Greek with Spanish Latin flavor. So definitely check out this musical. This is going to be good. Steve Martin talked on Twitter and he said he's taking a break from social media, which most of us need to do. Me. He said the reason he's taking a break from Twitter is because he's working on the new musical Bright Star. Bright Star will be premiering at the Old Globe Theater in San Francisco this September. It will be kicking off the 2014-2015 season for the Old Globe. So congrats Steve Martin on the new show, and I hope it turns out great. And maybe we'll see you on Broadway? I don't know. Okay, now we're moving on to scheduling news for Broadway. Audra McDonald, once again, third time, will be extending Lady Day. Yes, she'll be extending Lady Day again. For the final time, though. I doubt she's going to do after this, kids. You can see Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill through September 21st. Today is the flea market. That's random. However, though, Audra McDonald will be on vacation the 1st through the 7th of September. Make sure to go see this show. It won a Tony Award for Best Sound and also won the Tony Award for Best Actress. This is her 6th Tony Award. It's a really big deal for her. It's a Billie Holiday musical. Go see this Circle in the Square Theater. You have more time, go see it. On the upcoming play, The Elephant Man, that came from the Williamstown Festival, starring Bradley Cooper, pushes dates back a little bit, so I'm going to update you on that. The Elephant Man previews now will begin November 7th, and an opening day is set for December 7th. The limited run now is extended through February 15th, 2015. So what does this mean for ticket holders? If you guys have tickets from October 18th through November 6th, and also the matinee 3 p.m. performance on Sunday, December 7th, you should probably contact whoever you bought your tickets from and get a refund, and try to get a later date if possible. The Realistic Joneses, starring Michael C. Hall and Tracy Letts, closed yesterday. It ended its run after 27 previews and 105 performances. So congrats to Realistic Joneses, congrats on a great run. Okay, this is more of a little discussion today. I just saw this news and I thought I'd share with you guys and just give my opinion on it. It's a little different from what I normally do. Basically there's a report, right now there's a production in the West End of Shakespeare's Richard III. and it stars Martin Freeman, which, if you don't know him, he's been on a lot of movies and TV shows. Right now, he's really big for Sherlock, and he has a huge fan base. So apparently at the recent performances of Richard III, there's many critics, actors, and a lot of the audience members who were really upset about overzealous audiences, a lot of energy, a lot of clapping. It was a little bit too much. Apparently a lot of the audience members are being really distracting. There's extended applause for a lot of the monologues and certain points in the performance. And whenever he would make an entrance and during the curtain call, there was really loud clapping and cheering. And that's great, but apparently it was a little too much for this show. And it was more directed at Martin Freeman himself and his fan base, not really the show. Okay, so I just want to talk a little bit about this. Put my laptop down. Okay, so a lot of people weep into shows before celebrities, or you maybe seen somebody off Broadway in a show, really famous, and they're in this Broadway show or musical or in the West End. They have a huge fan base, huge following, and a lot of people will come to see this person. A lot of them are avid, frequent Broadway goers, and a lot of them are coming to see this person and they've never been to a Broadway show before. You know what? That's great if we're getting new audiences and getting new people in the theater. And that's what a lot of the critics commented about. I think the problem is, I think a lot of the time people are either new to the theater and don't know how to behave in the theater, and they're not used to it, which is not their fault entirely. And there's other people who I think focus on the actor themselves, and they don't really focus on their performance in the show. And that's kind of a little bit of a problem I have. Because I think a lot of these stars right now, like Denzel Washington, Neil, James Franco, and even Martin Freeman, I think they're recognized for their TV and movie roles and not so much as the performance they just gave. And I think it's more of this following of their movies and TV shows and not the event you just saw them in. While that's great to cheer and clap, I think you also have to realize that there's a story being told, there's a performance going on, and you need to be aware live theater is very different from the movies. It's not a screen and you're in front of the screen. There are live people on stage telling you a story, giving a performance, and it's nerve-wracking for them, and how all these distractions will throw them off, and you want to have the best performance, and they want you too. So I think just basic theater etiquette, just be calm during a show. If you see your favorite star, you can clap when they enter, that's great, they've earned it, but don't be too loud. Remember where you are, you're in a theater. You need to have a little respect, just common courtesy. I mean, y'all know how to act in a theater. Well, that is it this week for Carrying the Banner. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, you can find all these stories and more on BroadwayWorld.com, Broadway.com, Playbill, and many other sites where you get your Broadway news from. You know what? I'll just post the link below for Martin Freeman for the whole Richard III story. And I want to get your take on it. What do you think about overzealous audiences, really rambunctious audiences during Broadway shows, excessive clapping? What do you think about Broadway etiquette? Is that appropriate, or do you think they need to tone it down a little bit? I will see you next Monday, I promise, on Carrying the Banner. Until next week.